No one's gonna really guess Guyanese right off the bat. It's a really small country. There's less than 1 million people there, so I'm not surprised that people don't know about it. But it's when people just assume that I'm like Indian. I'm like, there's more than, like, all brown people aren't the same. My dad came first in the 80s, in like the late 80s, and then he went back and they actually got married then, and then he came back here, and my mom didn't come until 1994.
I'm Indo-Guyanese, so my ancestors were Indian. My parents are both from the same island. It's called Wigginam.
I basically came to Canada on a holiday when I first came to Canada.
Okay, and then you just ended up staying?
Pretty much, yeah. There was nothing I could do to be able to support myself. So that was the easiest thing for me to do, to earn, was just to live in with the family and took care of their kids.
I'm a big fan of just like beef. I mean, it's always nice to be able to go throw like a steak on the barbecue.
It changes a lot because we live downtown now and we try everything in the city, but I'm gonna say tacos right now.
Did you say
Bubble tea.
yeah, bubble tea. Yeah.
It would be really hard for me to just pick one, so I'm gonna give you a Guyanese food, and I actually had it this weekend. My grandma made duck curry and dal puri.
I'm Hindu, been raised as Hindu. We've gone to the mandir all my life.
Right now, I'm not so religious. I'm in sort of the phase of finding myself and what I believe in. I was raised as a Muslim. My family is Muslim.
We were brought up in a Christian home.
I grew up going to Caravana. It's changed a lot in recent years. I feel like now it's a lot less organized and a lot less based on the culture, because a lot of people, like especially with the floats, it's just about who gets the best float. I mean, I don't think it's a good representation of like the culture as a whole, because it's just a bunch of kids nowadays just kind of trying to get rowdy on the street.
It does not represent our culture. It's a big part of our culture, but it doesn't represent the whole picture. It's definitely a lot of fun. It's not the same as back home.
I think you have to use a little bit of discretion with this, because usually the stuff that we'll get here, especially, always has a bit of a North American twist to it. And I think to get the really authentic stuff, you need to go to the country of origin and like find a local like grandmother there to cook it for you.
Yeah.
So we had to cook for his health. So then because of that, that kind of just bled into how we eat now. And it's a lot, we cut down on meat, obviously. Yeah, my mom and I actually both lost quite a bit of weight, but I did like go to like eat more cake or things like that, just kind of like comfort food more.
When I used to live with my parents, it was always Guyanese food. I need guidance from my grandma to make like traditional Guyanese food, so I make a lot of like, I guess, Canadian foods, you would say.
No, I don't do a whole lot of Guyanese food. Now I cook a lot more Canadian food and stick to most more healthier stuff. I basically didn't know a whole lot about cooking Canadian food, so I had to learn from his mom how to do most of the Canadian food. There are times when I would feel like eating something that's Guyanese, and then I would prepare that for myself, and then, yeah, do something different for them. Whatever they wanted as they got older, yeah. They came when they were much, much older, and then they always had my mom around them too. I think for them is that there's so many more Guyanese people out in Toronto that they can associate with.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Whereas for me, there's not, like, I don't really have anybody here.
I think my personality in general makes it fairly open to try new foods, and I don't know if that kind of came from growing up eating a mix of everything, or if it was kind of just part of who I am.
There's such a variety in Guyanese food, like there's so many different types of things, so I feel like I'm a lot more open to trying new things because of that.
I eat just about anything except pork.
Yeah.
I consider myself a foodie. I love, like, especially being in the downtown Toronto core, like, I love experiencing different types of food.
And so we definitely get together a lot, like any excuse for like some type of party, we have one. That's when the accents come out, like the broken English.
I would definitely say I feel most connected to my culture when I'm with my family. The way I talk changes, my accent comes out. I spend a lot of my time with my boyfriend's family, so it feels like I'm not so much engaging with my culture, but engaging with another culture. It's nice because I get to see like a different perspective, excavating your frame mind, right?
I do enjoy the family dinners. I really do.
Because it's a way
I like
for...
the conversations and everything that goes around the dinner table.
So I decided one night, like as a joke, mostly, that I was gonna cook lasagna and just invite everybody that I knew over for lasagna, just to like kind of almost acquaint myself a little bit better and kind of hopefully establish some better friendships out there. And it went from like a one-time thing to everybody that I knew being like, dude, you need to cook this more often. And it's grown from that into almost an excuse outside of like Christmas and birthday parties as I get older, to maintain like a contact with my social circle. And like some of these people I'm really good friends with, and they're good people, but you only see them like, you know, once or twice a year, and usually at least one of those is at lasagna night.
Yeah.
At home, we did a lot of baking, like a lot of cakes and things like that.
Because of my religion, like Hinduism, you're not supposed to eat beef, but I don't eat beef or pork. And even then, I don't even eat that much chicken. Even if it's not in a religious context, these same ideas that Hinduism brings up is things that I'd want to live my life by anyway.
I think religion is more there to like give you a moral compass, not so much as to like look at other people and say what you're doing is wrong. You know, what I'm doing is right. In terms of practicing, I wouldn't say I practice. I don't pray 5 times a day, but I do follow certain parts, such as I abstain from pork.
So we ate, the only thing we did not eat was pork, because at home pork was considered dirty because of the way the animal was raised. It was pretty much in mud and pretty much considered not a very clean animal. And I was baptized in a Seventh-day Adventist church, so then that was not something we ate at all.
Where?
Being in the situation that I am right now, where I'm living at home, I'd say most of it's my mom's cooking, but
Now?
You? Yeah.
I'd say it's mostly my mom. She doesn't really have the patience for me because I'm a little bit slower with things. But I do like to try. But she definitely gets a little bit like, she's like, okay, no, you're doing it wrong. And then she'll just do it.